Filters Private Limited believes in equal employment opportunities for all employees and furthermore maintains a stable and healthy work environment within the company. Adhering to this principle, the company is anchoring a special policy against sexual harassment of employees at workplace. An employee would mean a person employed for work on a regular or temporary basis, directly or through an agent with a specified designation. The policy is applicable to all offices, factories, and plants in India, its sister concerns, associated companies, distributors, and customers or suppliers where the employee visits or gets located in performance of his duties. To give you all a detailed outline of this policy, we first need to educate ourselves on the ethics of workplace behavior and what constitutes as sexual harassment. What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment includes any one or more of the following unwelcome acts or behavior, whether directly or by implication, namely physical contact and advances, or a demand or request for sexual favors, or making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, any other unwelcome physical, verbal, or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. Simply put, if it is unwanted, it is harassment. Sexual harassment can be categorized into three types: visual, verbal, and physical. The don'ts. With the rise of sexual harassment at workplace, there are certain don'ts that all of us have to adhere to.
Verbal. Verbal abuse is described as a sexual defining statement told to the victim or about the victim.
Verbal harassment includes sexually colored remarks about a person's body or clothing, derogatory jokes or sounds, using threatening or abusive language, obscene and repeated phone calls, a direct, indirect demand or request for sexual favors. Visual. Visual harassment is the sexual harassment through virtual medium that can be subjective as well as direct. Visual includes showing pornography or sexual objects, stalking and constant leering, sending degrading messages, emails or memos with sexual innuendos. Physical. Physical harassment of sexual nature defines the methods of coercement, indecent touching, or groping meant to dominate the victim against her will. Physical harassment, which means the indecent bodily contact, blocking or cornering that person, groping or fondling, and worse, molestation or rape. Apart from all these, there is also a kind of emotional or psychological harassment with sexual intentions that include interfering with victims' work, creating a hostile, humiliating environment, and blackmail over employment status. The company has zero tolerance policy towards any act of sexual harassment. The do's. Should a person face any of these at the workplace, it is mandatory to report it to the authorities. Prevention is always better than cure, and hence we come to the do's. Women have equal fundamental rights to lead any occupation or trade, and the HOD regard all employees on the basis of merit, not gender, while considering salary, promotions, etc. Respect a person's space and consent, keeping in mind not to behave in a way that might affect their work environment or personal life. If you see an employee being harassed, take all necessary steps to assist the affected employee in terms of support and preventive action, and stand up to the perpetrator. Provide assistance to the victim or medical help. The affected employee facing sexual harassment at workplace needs to speak up the committee through a written record of incidents. Request to seek transfer for either party. Have senior supervision for working after office hours. HOD or reporting manager to ensure safe transport arrangement for female employees if they stay late for office work. Grievance mechanism. It is necessary for all employees to get acquainted with the policies surrounding sexual harassment laid down by the internal committee. Affected employees can follow these steps. Speak up to the person misbehaving and tell them to stop it immediately. Keep writing record of incidents. Refer to FFPL, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Policy, for detailed steps. The victim can submit a written complaint to the committee. However, this application should be submitted within 3 months of the incident or the last event in case of multiple incidents. The complaint letter shall include name and designation of the perpetrator, date, venue, witnesses, description of the act. Conciliation. The internal committee, before conducting any inquiry and at the consent of the victim, will take steps to settle the matter through conciliation. If the victim and the accused arrive at a settlement, the committee shall keep a record of the settlement clauses and notify the company. No further inquiry shall be conducted in such a case. Inquiry committee and process. Every sexual harassment complaint shall be dealt with utmost discretion and urgency. The following process will be done by the committee. Communicate with both parties over the inquiry. Prepare a statement of allegation, hand it over to the accused, and give them a chance to submit a written application within 7 days of the receipt notification. If either party wishes to tender any witness or documents of evidences, they should submit the same in writing within 10 days of the complaint receipt. Committee shall assess witness statements by both parties. Provide a reasonable opportunity to the accused to defend their case. If the inquiry provisions do not come under the service rules, the committee will forward the case to the police within 7 days. Proceedings and punishment. The inquiry shall be dealt with in a duration not beyond 3 months and submit its findings in a report within 10 days of completion to the management. In this report, should the allegation against accused not be proven, recommend the company to take no further action. If the accused has been proven guilty, the management shall deem a necessary punishment. As per the service rules applicable, compensation will be paid to the complainant or her legal heirs from the respondent's wages or ask the respondent to pay directly. The action shall be taken within 60 days. Action against false complaint or evidence. If the committee arrives at the conclusion that a false complaint has been made or the evidence documents have been forged, it will recommend the company to take action as per the provisions of law.
Appeal against the order passed. It is pertinent to note that any person aggrieved by the recommendations given or orders passed by the Internal Complaints Committee can prefer an appeal before the court or tribunals prescribed under the law. This appeal can be filed either party who is aggrieved by the order passed or recommendations given by the Internal Complaints Committee. This appeal shall be preferred within 90 days from the date of recommendations given or orders passed by the Internal Complaints Committee.
The company's utmost priority is to create a sexual harassment-free work environment for all. There is zero tolerance policy to any case of sexual harassment at workplace, and ramification of such act can lead to unemployment. It is essential to stay vigilant and educated when dealing with sexual harassment issues. Stay safe, speak out, report it.